Yeah, what's good, people? Yeah, it's your man, KGM, KG Money. Hope y'all good. Yeah. So today, we're gonna talk about water and light. You know, cause we are water beings. You know, we are made up of water and light. You know, they say the earth is made up of 71% water. But if you ask me, I'll say it's 100. It's 100%. Because everything is water, man. There's water below, there's water above. You know? When it rains water. For us to survive, we need water. For the trees, the food we eat, it needs water to grow. We need water to cook the food. So everything is water. So that's why I say it's 100%. Because the earth can be consumed by water. You know, it can rain for days, it can rain for months, for weeks, and the whole earth will be filled with water. And nothing can be done about it. But you can't fill the ocean. There's not enough sand. There's not enough rocks. There's not enough stones to fill the ocean. The seas, the rivers, the streams, the springs, and shit like that. So that's why personally I say it's 100% because we are water. And we are made up of light because our spirit, because we are spirit beings having a physical experience. You know, this flesh that we got, this flesh is a covering, is a clothing for us, you know, for our spirit. So our spirit is light. Because if your spirit is right, that means the light is shining bright. If your light is dim, your spirit ain't right. So your spirit is light. So we are water and light beings. Everything that we do is done in the daytime. It's done in the brightness of the day. We wake up in the morning when the sun is out. We go, you know, we get prepared for the day. We go to our daily activities and shit like that. Nighttime, you know, the moon is out to provide a little bit of light for the nighttime. But it's dark. We prepare for sleep. We're trying to get some rest for the next day. Even though now we got these technological conveniences, you know, we can work at night now because we got artificial lighting and all that. But it doesn't change the fact everything that is worth doing is done in the light. Anything that is done in the dark there's negative connotation attached to that, because if you're doing something in the dark, that means you're being secretive, you're being vindictive, or you're trying to do something negative because you're trying to do it in the dark. But if you're doing it in the light, then I guess it's positive. So water and light. You know, like the video, you know, that was circling online on social media, on the internet, about the Bruce Lee video that he talked about. You know, if you pour water in a cup, the water becomes a cup, transforms to the cup. If you put water anywhere, water transforms to that. You know, so become water, right? I'm like, yo, that's perfect, man. So I'm trying to be like water. Everything is water. Even if we use the Bible as a reference, when, you know, before anything, there was water and darkness. When, you know, the earth was without form. When God came, water and darkness. And what was the first thing he did? Let there be light. There was light. So even though we was made from dust, and unto dust we shall return, but we are water and light beings. Because our flesh is going to return to the dust. We did. But our spirit remains. The water, and for our flesh to thrive, water is essential. So we are water and light beings. We've heard celebrities talk about, I'm trying to spread the light. Because we know about Freemasons, we know about Illuminati. They talk about their slogan, they are like the luminants. They are like the light of the world, according to them. But everything they do is in secret. Then, in the Bible, Christ said to Christians, to his followers, you be the light. You are the light of the world. Spread it. Don't hide it. Spread it. Spread it. Let everybody know about it. Spread the message. But the Freemasons, the Illuminati, they talk about they are the light. But everything is secret. They don't spread nothing. So, man, who you gonna believe? Even if you check the movie Thor, the second one, your elves, they like darkness. They wanted to spread darkness around the world because they was before humans. They was there before Odin. Because if you Odin or Asgard is like a metaphor for God. Odin is like God, Thor is like Jesus, and shit, the whole Thor story, right? So now the elves they was there, because sometimes if you think, right, you be like, okay, God came, right? There was water, there was darkness. So what happened before then? We don't know. If you try to think about it, I don't think our minds can comprehend, but so the elves now, they're like the ones that were thriving in that darkness. And they was trying to spread it, according to, the Thor movie, the second part. So some of us, we like, I'm not gonna say I like darkness, but I don't like light like that. I don't like when it's too bright. If I'm in the room, I like it dark, or I like it dim. Or if I'm having sex, I like the room dim. I don't want it bright. No, it shouldn't be dark, because I don't want it dark as well, but at least dim, very dim. You dig? Like if you had a cinema, it's dark in there. The only light you get in is from the screen. And, it's an enjoyable experience. So there's a word for that. They call it nocturnal. I like to do most of my things at night. I like to chill in the day. At night, I like to go out at night. I like to do whatever I want to do. I like to do it at night. So they call that nocturnal. I don't know where that came from, but I think it came from when I was a kid, right? I remember when I was a kid, from where I'm from, in Nigeria, we don't have uninterrupted power supply. It's like they switch it on and off. We don't have 24 hours power supply. For the most part, we don't have power supply. So for the most part, we don't have light. So you have to use like generator to get your electricity supply. For those that can't afford generators, you have to use like lamps, torchlight and shit like that. So when I was a kid, like 5-6 years old, we don't have power supply. We wasn't rich. We didn't have generator. So we had lamps. So my mom's gonna, she's gonna send me to the room. Like, yo, go get me something in the room. I'm like, Ma, it's dark in there. I'm scared. Because we used to watch horror movies, thrillers, and as a kid, you're impressionable. You're thinking, yo, that shit I saw in the movie, that scary stuff is gonna appear to me in the room, in the darkness when I'm by myself and nobody can help me. So I'm telling moms like, yo, Ma, I can't go to the room. It's dark. I'm scared. She's gonna be like, yo, did you kill somebody? Go get me that stuff. Shit. If I don't obey her, she's gonna whoop my ass, so I gotta go. So, I just muster the courage. I go and get it. And this happens over and over. So now, fast forward, years later, I'm in high school now. I'm like 11 years old, 12, because I started earlier than most people. So among my peers, I was usually the youngest. Among my friends, my colleagues, I was usually the youngest. So I'm like 11 years old, 12 years old. I'm in high school. I'm a kid. I don't know how to manage money my provisions, whatever. So when you go to school, they give you some money for your upkeep. They give you some provisions. I went to boarding school, so and my boarding school is like over 3 hours drive away from where I live. It's a different state. You know, I'm from Lagos. I'm going to like Osun State. So I don't have no access to my parents. There's no cell phone. You know, even then, back then we didn't have landline at our house. You know, we had it like maybe some years later, but I said then we didn't have. So there's no contact. Once I go to school, so I'm a kid, right? I don't know how to manage my provisions. I don't know how to manage money. So like after like, you know, and we get our visiting days like once a month, the first Saturday of every month. So I get to school, maybe one or 2 weeks, everything is finished. So even though at school, they give us breakfast, lunch and dinner, but it's not enough. It's not sustainable. It's never sustainable. So after 1 week, 2 weeks, everything is finished. Now, how do I survive? So, or there may be other kids, you know, my school is a public school. You know, it's a government school. So we don't have like rich kids. We have like very few. So most people, they're not rich, right? But you know, some people, maybe they have elder brothers or sisters. They have siblings. You know, they and they are older than I am. So they have some experience. They know how to keep their money. They are siblings. I've taught them how to manage in those kind of situations. In my own case, I'm the firstborn. I don't have nobody to tell me shit. So like, you know, so now I gotta sneak out of school because I have to eat something. I have to find some way. So now maybe other kids now, they're scared to sneak out. My school is surrounded by a jungle. You know, the school is so big. So there's no fence around it. It's just thick jungle. I'm talking about thick. You know, we got pythons in this jungle. We got scorpions. We got, you know, and we got people practicing voodoo because it's in a village. So now you gotta sneak out. So most people they don't have the heart to sneak out. So me now, people that want to buy stuff from outside, I take money from them, right? I take money from them. I go buy it. So by helping them, I get my own commission. So I use that to buy some food for myself. You did. So I remember I'm like 12 years old. I'm sneaking out of school in the jungle, and I'm looking around like, yo, this some scary ass shit. I'm thinking, yo, how the fuck did I get the heart to walk through this jungle by myself? Because I'm telling you, even as an adult, most people can't walk through this jungle because there's voodoo. You know, you see the voodoo stuff around the trees, on the plants. Because some people, they got farms in there, and there's something that we call bush babies. I don't know if it's it. I don't know if everybody around the world knows about bush babies. I think there's another English name for them, but I don't know. But bush babies, you know, I've heard stories in my school that some people they came in contact with bush babies. I never saw bush babies, but you know, because it was that kind of jungle, right? So I'm walking through this jungle. I'm like, yo, how did I get the heart to do this? He did too, and I'm by myself. Because most times, you know, sometimes I'm with my homies. Maybe we're going to play some pool, you know, meet some chicks in some other schools. Sometimes I'm by myself. So this particular time I was by myself, late at night, in this thick ass jungle. There's no cell phone to provide. I don't have light. I'm walking through the path. Because you know, I've walked the path a lot of times, so I know how to maneuver. So I'm like, yo, how did I get it? How did I get the mind? How did I get the heart to do this? So I'm like, yo, it must have been back then when my mom used to force me to go into the darkness to fetch whatever she wanted me to fetch for her. It did. So I guess that must, you know, I conquered my fear of darkness, but now I kind of love darkness. I'm nocturnal. I like to do shit at night. You know, plus I smoke weed. You know, if you're a weed smoker, you don't want too much light, because too much light be fucking with your high. You don't want shit fucking with your high, right? So you like it dim. You like everything, you know, not too bright. So I don't know, but we are light beings. We are water beings. right? So that's just my little story, my little high school story about, So some of us, we are nocturnal, but that doesn't change the fact that we are made of light and water. Water is a powerful force, and light is positive. There's a positive connotation when it comes to light, right? Look at the fire outbreak in the Amazon, the tropical forest. Even though things were destroyed, right? Things were affected. The balance in nature was affected. Maybe the ozone layer was affected. The polar ice caps was affected. But eventually, it was contained. The fire was able to be contained. It was able to be managed. It did. There's fire outbreak in California and some other states. Even in the UK, even this year there was fire outbreak in some European countries. But it was able to be contained. But when it comes to water, you can't contain water. You can't hold water in your hand. You did. The flood, is it hurricane? Is it Katrina? The one in Houston, the flood. They couldn't do nothing about it. They just had to wait it out. Everybody had to leave, let the water do its thing. After it stopped, settled, dried off, everybody came back. Couldn't be contained. So, be water, man. Be water. As a human being, man, it will be messed up if you get killed by yourself. You did, because most people, they don't know how to swim, especially black people. You need to know how to swim, man. You did, because we have water. Like I said, it's 100% water. So you guys know how to swim. You can't be water and not know how to swim. Even me, I didn't know. I didn't learn to swim. I always played in pools at the beach, but I didn't even learn to swim till like my mid-20s. So you guys know how to swim, man. I'm not like an A1 swimmer, but at least I can swim, I can float. So you guys know that. So water is unstoppable. You dig? It's unstoppable. Can't be stopped. But at the same time, it's life. It brings balance. Be the light. If you are enlightened, if you are gifted, if you are favorable, or if you are favored, be the light to others, man. Be the light. Be water. And be light. You did. Yeah, man. Thank y'all for rocking with the kid. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Show the kid some love, yo. I'll see y'all later. Peace.